Hello, 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 and welcome to the fifth class, the fifth module of the 12 course, 12 module topic of applied meditation. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for taking this time for yourself and to study and master this extremely important skill. So, last week we talked about how to put the body in the neutral position and also how, therefore, neutralize through the breath the mind as well. And we talked about why it is important because you start training the meditation muscle. And we also started to practice Mahamudra meditation. Very, very important first step when you learn to meditate, to observe your mind. And I hope you get a chance to practice. So today I'll continue and we'll talk about the challenges that every single meditator faces, every single one. And I told you, as soon as you make that decision that you will meditate, the universe will make it extremely difficult for you to stick to it. So there are a couple of problems and everybody faces them and there are no exceptions and you will go through them as well. So in this course, we'll talk about what are those problems and how to overcome them. And towards the end of it, I want to give you another meditation. And it's a beautiful meditation. It's called Golden Room. So let's dive in. 5 problems, 5 challenges every meditator faces. Thank you guys for joining. And there are 8 solutions. There are 8 solutions to those, and it sounds strange, but the solutions, there are more solutions than challenges. And the very first one will be laziness. And it is the tomorrow. It is, I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow might never come. And it is not your typical laziness when you don't want to get off the couch and do anything. It is the laziness that means that you have not sufficiently understood the motivation behind this desire to meditate. And so we work with the motivation. So once we fix the motivation, there will be a desire. Once there is a desire, there is a decision to go forward, and then it all happens naturally. But we talked about the benefits of meditation, and there are a couple of those benefits. And for you, you can construct your own benefits. You can write a list of that which is important to you. For years, I used to, and I talked about it in the first module, I said that I could be a better mom because I would be calm and peaceful. And I used to joke with my kids, guys, if I don't meditate, you'll get unmeditated mom. So create your own list of benefits, what the meditation is for you at this stage of your journey. And it might be to keep you calm, or it might be to help you stay concentrated while you're at work and be able to be a better decision maker, more analytical, more smart at work. It could be that you're dealing with a lot of stress, whether it's at work or at home, and this will improve your stress resilience. If you don't sit yourself on the cushion first thing in the morning, life takes over, and there is no chance, little, zero, none, for you to cope and master it if you have not invested the time to meditate, maybe do yoga, to work with the energy inside of you, and centralize it so you are more resilient, you're calmer, you're more harmonic within. It could be It could be much, much higher aspirations and motivations that you have. It could be maybe you are at the stage of your spiritual development when you're thinking about reaching ultimate happiness, reaching enlightenment, serving a lot of people. So, whatever that is, make that list for yourself and remind you. You can talk to your mind. You can wrestle your mind. You can force your mind, but you can negotiate with yourself. And negotiation is a better tactic than force yourself because the mind will always win. We're not as experienced and strong in the mind to conquer it. So I recall one of my teachers, Joe Dispenza, who taught me to meditate quite a bit. He used to say, this is your date with the divine. This is your date with God. So don't postpone it. One of the enlightened beings, one of the masters said, the only purpose of our existence on earth is to have a sojourn, to have a meeting with God, with divine. That's the only purpose. So don't skip that step. That's pretty big motivation. It's bigger than you to become and to be a better mom, in my opinion, in my mind. So, first step, make a list. Then the second step, you will get this feeling, yes, I want to do it. I want to meditate because I want to achieve these things. Um, But you know what? This motivation leads to this desire to sit down. Once you sit down, you start forming a habit. We're very habitual creatures. I have a habit of going to the fridge at night, picking a piece of cheese, nibbling on it. So I do it once, I do it twice. It's a habit. Then I have to deal with it, but the positive habits are formed the same way. I'm sure you know about it. Um, so once you understand enough why you want to meditate, then these four things, um, from motivation to desire to making an effort, then the habit will form. So that was the very first problem, very first challenge. Get yourself on a pillow, get yourself on a chair, however you meditate, but get yourself there. And the more you do that, the sooner you'll develop the habit to do it. And you'll miss it. You'll feel odd. It's like not having a cup of tea in the morning or coffee if you drink that. Now, the second challenge, and we talked about the ability to concentrate, to hold the object and the higher objects, the objects that are like cheese, leading us to the perception of the ultimate reality, to ultimate happiness. And the when you cannot hold the object escapes, that's when we experience the second challenge. So, how do you refocus? How do you regain your concentration? First is by doing things before you sit down to meditate. So, it's getting enough sleep. If I don't sleep, I can set my alarm for 4 o'clock all I want. I'll be pushing it down and it's later. So, we do need a couple of good hours of sleep, and that's what sets you up for a good meditation. Otherwise, you'll be sleepy. You won't be able to focus. Now, the and we talked about multiple objects. We started with breath as one object, then we started to observe the mind. Today, I'll give you yet the third object, but The object means something that you have chosen to meditate on. And this is what you purposely direct your mind towards in the meditation. And so if the breath is just the object, the tool to move us in the neutral space, neutral state, there are other objects that will study little by little. So when you forget that you had that object, it means that the mind, the mind is this big elephant that you started to train to focus and concentrate. And you need a rope to pull that elephant back, gently back. Uh, the elephant is huge and it'll stampede you. So you when you pull the rope back, um, sometimes you just have to say to yourself that this is the most important thing you could do with your life. And this also, it is very helpful to get your mind back. Um, but the techniques, outside of the meditation, like I mentioned, it's the sleep, it's the proper nutrition, it's the proper meditate, it's the proper motivation. Um, and then the other thing is you decide. You decide when you sit down on the pillow, on the cushion. Sorry, I'm saying pillow. When you sit down on the cushion, you decide that you will spend 10, 15 minutes in absolute stillness. You will be like a rock, you wouldn't move. This is the time for yourself. Your mind will be jumping to gazillion different places and saying, thinking what you need to do today. Um, you simply decide, no, tell yourself that you will be not, you will only be doing this, meditating for the next half an hour, 15 minutes, whatever time you allocated for yourself. You decide and you do that. Then I told you this before, do not ever get discouraged in the meditation. When you lose the object or whatever we've been focusing on and you noticed it, just be happy that you noticed. Be happy that you noticed. It's positive motivation. It will help put these seeds that will grow into bigger habit. They're positive seeds. So you'll be motivated to do this more and more if you don't bash yourself. So now, and you gently return to the object, gently refocus. Wherever your mind went, just gently go back. So the other technique, it's a very interesting technique, and Geshe Michael Roach, the teacher, he said, and as he said that think about something very sad. Think you might be dead tonight. The subject of death, believe it or not, it cools your mind, it focuses you in, makes you calm and still. The sad points do that. So if everything fails, give yourself that thought. So so those are the two problems, two challenges to overcome. What I would like now to do is guide you through the Golden Room meditation. It's a single pointed meditation. When you go in, we will hold one point for some time. And I want you to use these tools that we just discussed. If you notice that your mind slipped away, and the very first problem. The very first challenge we talked about today is the laziness and not enough motivation. So you will encounter it this week until we meet again next Wednesday. It's the challenge for you will be to keep doing this meditation for 10-15 minutes for the next week. So that's perfect practice for what we just discussed on how to cope with the challenges of motivation. So let's begin. Sit yourself in a very comfortable posture that we also discussed to meditate. I will not go through the 7 point posture, but I want you to remember what we talked about from the bottom to the top of the body, how to sit yourself properly in the meditation. So sit comfortably, and when your body takes a comfortable position, give yourself a commitment that you will sit motionless like a stone throughout this meditation. And now bring your attention to the breath. Feel the air coming in and out, touching the tip of your nose. You can even put that little observer that we talked about in Mahamudra meditation. Place that little observer behind you, behind your head, while you're putting your mind into the neutral state. And let that observer watch how you hold the object. And the object right now is the breath, the sensations of breathing, of air coming in and out of the nose. And let's do 10 breathing cycles. And now, in your mind, I want you to imagine that you're in a beautiful room, in a cabin, somewhere on the side of a gorgeous mountain. And there is this golden, beautiful light streaming through the window. And the view is stunning. The view is stunning. The windows are from the top to the bottom of the floor. And you can see the entire mountain with all the vistas from it. It is extremely quiet and extremely peaceful in this place. You look out of the window and you see the most magnificent blue sky. There's not a cloud in the sky. Try to notice different shades of blue in that magnificent sky. And you drift down to see the forest and the meadow below. And that forest and the meadow, that valley, has every shade of green you can imagine, from light to darker to the tones of blue. You can even see the little streams going down the valley, down into a beautiful lake that reflects back the blue sky. And then your awareness goes to the door of the cabin where you hear a knock. Someone is there at the door, and that someone is a person you care very deeply for. They exerted great influence on your life. Perhaps it's a teacher, or a parent, or even a child. Whoever it is for you, you feel their care and you feel their deep love for you. You're back on your meditation cushion in the middle of the room, and that special person enters and comes to sit knee to knee with you on the meditation pillow in front of you. And the two of you are bathing in a beautiful golden light. And all you have to do now is drown in the love that you see in their eyes, and compassion and kindness in their eyes. So look deeply into their eyes, and your mind and body come to complete stillness. You're only aware of their eyes. And if your focus wanders, bring it back. You're looking deeply into their eyes, as if drinking their love and compassion and kindness.
You can begin to deepen your breath. And before you open your eyes, on the exhale, see beautiful golden stream of air passing through your nostrils. And with that air, you're giving away all the goodness that you've created by meditation. And see how it flows out and touches the hearts of every living being. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Oops. So I encourage you to practice this meditation. And today we talked about the two of the first five challenges of the five challenges that everybody encounters when they meditate. And we talked about some of the solutions. And we also did the golden room meditation. Next time, we'll do two more meditations and we'll talk about other types of challenges and practice them more during the meditation. And thank you so much for joining today. And I look forward to seeing you next time.